Hi, my wonderful people. This is part five. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. Don't forget, you should purchase Miss Zelina Maxwell's book, The End of White Politics: How to Heal Our Liberal Divide.
States and to talk to white working class voters with Bernie Sanders. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But I feel like the message of the 2016 election was not, we didn't do enough to reach out to white working class voters. The message of the 2016 election is we have not done enough to combat voter suppression that is keeping our base of voters from casting their ballots. Black and brown people. And so one of the things that I think is important is for the Democrats to be able to balance their outreach and messaging to both black voters and white voters. One of the things that they mistake is when they're reaching out to the white working class voters that you're talking about is they deny that certain rhetoric that's coming from the Republican Party and the Trump base is racist to make those voters in Kentucky that vote 95% Republican feel better. And they're like, oh, no, you're not actually racist. You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's helpful when you have a base of black and brown people. Because we hear you doing that. Like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just tell those people that some of the things that they believe are biased? Maybe they don't want to hear it, but if they don't want to hear it, if that shuts down the conversation completely, then they weren't your voter to begin with. They're never, ever going to vote for you, ever. But you have to confront it honestly. I just don't believe in sugarcoating. And I think that the Democrats have trouble when they talk to white working class voters in sugarcoating the racism that is coming from the Trump base to make those people who voted for Donald Trump feel better about themselves and make them feel like, oh, well, no, I voted for Donald Trump because it was my economic anxiety, for which we know that is not what it was.
See, you're hitting it. You pinpointed it exactly. And we're all one, but Cornell Belcher, if you go on my page, One Way Stream Race for All Humans, I have Cornell Belcher there talking about how they use, fear, the Southern strategy in commercials that talk about crime and fear. That's one reason Mandela Barnes lost. I think that's the one reason why the Democrats may have lost in New York, those 4 congressional speeches, besides the Democrats and besides the progressive establishment fighting, or whatever that was. I'm not sure about that. My point is, you have to respond to it, though, and say, no, we're one race. The human race, we're together, and we all have problems. We all need food in our stomach, clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, shelter our head. Regardless, free state education for everyone, free health care for everyone, are subsidized. So we're all together. It's not just these black people running around.
January 10th, 2023.
Latinos, getting all the money. That's not true. There are more poor whites than blacks. So
the problem, though, Pastor,